This is the sad tale of the spineless ones, those who simply cannot stand up for what they know to be right, and instead selfishly cave in to others whom they allow to be far too influential in their careers. The members of the House voted 235 to 180, and the Senate voted 57-43 to eliminate the prohibition of mentally unstable people from being able to purchase firearms. Essentially, they've said that your sociopathic Uncle Alphonse, who is mentally unable to care for himself and has violent hallucinations, may now own an arsenal of guns and ammunition. Said Dan Gross, president of the Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence, quote, "Make no mistake, this vote was really about deepening the gun industry's customer pool at the expense of those in danger of hurting themselves or others." The repeal of the prohibition was spearheaded in the Senate by Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa. He is the same Chuck Grassley who fought Obamacare with the stirring words of a warrior for truth and integrity, saying, quote, "They're going to pull the plug on Granny." He declared that lie as part of the Republican brain-dead opposition to anything Obama, this episode of which was a fight against non-existent death panels he insisted were built into the Affordable Care Act. In this week's victory for more homicides, his next act of courage, Grassley declared that the prohibition against the ownership of guns by the mentally disabled unfairly stigmatizes these people. Unfairly stigmatizes these people. Is this nonsense making your eyes go all googly? Does Grassley's Orwellian logic of people who are mentally disabled being stigmatized because they can't own a Bushmaster assault rifle mash up your brain cells? It should. This is yet another case of big money lobbying, distorting our rights, our freedom, our safety, and our common sense. It is exactly why I deliver keynotes entitled Money, Politics, and Democracy. You aren't getting what you want. There's a link to a 15-minute sample video in the written blog. If we don't fix this, the next time you walk past your neighbor's door, you may be greeted by that poor soul who suffers from dementia, but has in his hands a Glock semi-automatic fitted with a silencer. He might not shoot you then, but he'll still be next door tonight with his gun. Sleep well. And get me booked to present to your group before Grassley and the other spineless ones do yet more damage to America. President Trump's press conference on February 16 was yet another supreme exhibition of self-congratulation and self-admiration, reaffirming multiple times what the Electoral College count was and how awful Hillary is, and an unrelenting attack on the press supported by absolutely no specifics or facts. That is to say, it was standard Trump, and added very little to our political or governmental knowledge. What he did say was that in talking with the Russians after the election and before the inauguration, Mike Flynn was doing his job. Trump said that he did not direct Flynn to talk with them about the easing of sanctions, but that he would have had he given Flynn marching orders. Just to be clear, Flynn's advising the Russians about Trump lifting sanctions once in office, this done while President Obama was still in office, was and is an illegal act, arguably treason. And President Trump tells us that he would have advised Flynn to do that very thing. I'm past asking questions like why would Trump do such a thing or even say such a thing, because his why doesn't matter. What does matter is that he has once more demonstrated his complete lack of respect for the law. What do you think we the people should do about that? We'll be watching to see how the spineless ones deal with the apparent treason that has rocked our democracy. Do they have what it takes to stand up for what they know is right? Or will they cave in yet again, this time to an infant tyrant's delusions of grandeur and lawlessness? Watch this space. In other news, this is from a stunning letter to the editor of the New York Times, February 13, 2017, from two mental health care professionals. It was published before the Trump rant and rage press conference of February 16. Quote, Mr. Trump's speech and actions demonstrate an inability to tolerate views different from his own, leading to rage reactions. His words and behavior suggest a profound inability to empathize. Individuals with these traits distort reality to suit their psychological state, attacking facts and those who convey them, like journalists and scientists. In a powerful leader, these attacks are likely to increase as his personal myth of greatness appears to be confirmed. We believe that the grave emotional instability indicated by Mr. Trump's speech and actions makes him incapable of safely serving as president. It's signed by Lance Dotis and Joseph Schachter of Beverly Hills, California. Finally, I just returned from a town hall meeting with Representative Brad Schneider of Illinois, 10th Congressional District. Hundreds of highly energized citizens packed every meeting room in the library to capacity, and he stayed overtime to answer questions. Does your representative show up for town halls and answer questions? Does your representative both enter and exit using the front door, or is she or he weaseling out the back so they don't have to face you? Key point, Representative Schneider made it clear that his focus is to uphold the oath he took to protect and defend the Constitution, not partisan extremism. Can your representative say the same, or is she or he one of the spineless ones? I'm Jack Altshuler.